These shocking signs reveal one of Las Vegas's most iconic resorts crumbling before our eyes. The Bellagio, once the crown jewel of the Strip and the world's most expensive resort, faces a perfect storm of declining tourism, aging infrastructure, and brutal competition that threatens its legendary status. When Steve Wynn opened the Bellagio on October 15, 1998, he didn't just build a hotel, he created a revolution. At a cost of $1.6 billion, it was the most expensive resort ever constructed, that featuring those world-famous dancing fountains that cost $40 million alone. Wynn's vision was crystal clear: the most romantic, delicious place ever built in the world. The opening night showcased pure Vegas excess. $88 million spent on a single party, with 15,000 guests, including Michael Jordan, Clint Eastwood, and Drew Barrymore. This wasn't just another casino opening. It was the moment Las Vegas transformed from a gambling town into a luxury destination. What the resort's 8.5-acre artificial lake became an instant landmark, while its 3,933 rooms across 2 towers set a new standard for hotel scale. The Bellagio Gallery of Fine Art, one of the only museum-quality art institutions on the Strip, signaled that Las Vegas was now competing culturally with the world's great luxury destinations. And yet, barely 2 years after opening, Steve Wynn sold the entire MGM Mirage portfolio, including the Bellagio, for approximately $6.4 billion in 2000, foreshadowing the pattern of financial maneuvering that would define the property's ownership history for decades to come. But 27 years later, that gleaming facade shows serious cracks. The numbers don't lie. Las Vegas just experienced its worst tourism decline since the pandemic, with visitor numbers plummeting 7.5% in 2025. Only 38.5 million people visited Sin City, down from 41.6 million the year before. When you're running a resort that depends on volume and luxury pricing, those missing 3 million visitors represent a catastrophic loss. The Bellagio's troubles run deeper than just declining visitor numbers. Walk through the property today, and you'll see what guests increasingly complain about online. Recent reviews paint a disturbing picture. Rooms are old, carpets are worn out, while bathrooms show their age with old fixtures. One particularly damning review from July 2025 described finding fake eyelashes on supposedly clean pillows, a revolting sign that basic housekeeping standards are slipping at what was once the pinnacle of luxury. This decline isn't happening in isolation. The entire Strip hemorrhages money, with gaming revenue dropping for the first time since May. MGM Resorts, which operates the Bellagio, saw their Las Vegas profits fall dramatically, while competitor Caesars Entertainment reported a devastating 20% drop in profit. The financial pressure has grown so intense that MGM was forced into massive cost-cutting measures, eliminating 34 concierge positions across 6 Strip properties in April 2025. Guests now face digital self-serve terminals instead of the personalized service that once defined the Bellagio experience. The fountain show that made Bellagio famous has become a symbol of the property's struggles. But those magnificent water displays cost between $10,000 and $15,000 per day to operate. That's up to $400,000 monthly just to keep the fountains running. The system uses 12 million gallons of water annually and burns through 500 pounds of chlorine daily. For a property facing declining revenues, these operational costs become increasingly difficult to justify. Behind the scenes, yet the fountain's maintenance team of 30 specialists works in a hidden cavern called the Bat Cave, located within a fake rock formation. These trained scuba divers and technicians keep the 27-year-old system running, but the equipment shows its age. The oarsman mechanisms were designed to last 5 years, but remain in use today, requiring constant maintenance and repairs that eat into already thin profit margins. The Bellagio Conservatory and Botanical Gardens illustrates this tension perfectly. The 13,000-square-foot space, located just off the casino floor, changes its elaborate floral installations 5 times per year to reflect the seasons and major holidays, employing a team of over 140 horticulturists and designers. Admission is free, making it one of the most visited complimentary attractions in Las Vegas, and a powerful reason for non-gamblers to walk through the property. But maintaining 5 major installations annually adds considerable cost to an already strained budget. Another luxury the resort can ill afford but cannot abandon without further eroding its identity. The ownership structure adds another layer of complexity to Bellagio's challenges. In 2019, MGM sold the property to Blackstone for $4.25 $1.5 billion in a sale-leaseback deal, retaining only operational control while paying $245 million annually in rent. Yeah, this arrangement means MGM operates a property they don't own, potentially limiting their willingness to invest in major capital improvements. When you're paying rent instead of building equity, every dollar spent on renovations becomes a harder sell to shareholders. Competition crushes the Bellagio from multiple angles. The $3.7 billion Fontainebleau opened in December 2023 as the Strip's tallest hotel, featuring 3,644 luxury rooms and 150,000 square feet of gaming space. Yet this newcomer already earned the city's first and only Michelin key distinction, positioning itself as the new standard for Strip luxury. Meanwhile, Bellagio struggles with infrastructure that's nearly 3 decades old. The numbers reveal just how brutal this competition has become. Hotel occupancy across Las Vegas dropped to 80.3% in 2025, down 3.3 points from the previous year. Average daily room rates fell 5% to $183.52, while revenue per available room plummeted 8.8% to $147.30. For a luxury property like Bellagio, these metrics represent a fundamental shift in market dynamics. International tourism, once a reliable revenue stream, has collapsed entirely. Canadian visitor numbers dropped catastrophically. WestJet's passenger total fell 28%, while Air Canada dropped 22%. Political tensions and tariff policies have kept international visitors away, while leaving Strip properties fighting over a shrinking domestic market. The Bellagio's restaurant scene, once a crown jewel of the property, has also taken devastating hits. Picasso, the award-winning restaurant that helped establish Las Vegas as a fine dining destination when it opened in 1998, closed its doors in August 2024 after 25 years. Chef Julian Serrano's retirement marked the end of an era, removing one of the Bellagio's key differentiators from an increasingly crowded market. The property still leans heavily on O by Cirque du Soleil, the aquatic theatrical production that has run continuously since the resort's opening night in 1998. Performed in a purpose-built 1.5 million-gallon pool, O has long been one of the highest-grossing live shows in Las Vegas history, but with ticket prices now exceeding $200 for premium seats. And even this beloved institution faces pressure as younger visitors increasingly prioritize new experiences over legacy entertainment, and as rival resorts invest in fresh, headline-grabbing productions of their own. Even the famous Formula One race, which should bring excitement and visitors to the Strip, has become a logistical nightmare for Bellagio. The race setup obscures the fountain views for nearly 3 months, as grandstands block the iconic water displays. What was meant to be a tourism boost has become another operational headache, requiring the property to choreograph seasonal tree removal and replacement while dealing with construction disruption. Social media has amplified every complaint and criticism, with visitors increasingly vocal about Vegas not being a good value anymore. MGM CEO Bill Hornbuckle admitted the company's mistakes, saying customers had every right to be upset about paying $12 for coffee when room rates were just $29. "Oh, shame on us," he acknowledged, but the damage to the brand's reputation was already done. The financial pressure forces impossible choices. Labor costs have increased over 16% due to new union contracts, while utilities, insurance, and property taxes all saw double-digit increases. Revenue has plateaued, while expenses continue climbing, creating a vice that squeezes profit margins to dangerous levels. But these aren't temporary setbacks. They represent structural challenges that threaten the property's long-term viability. Industry experts see deeper problems ahead. As one analyst noted, this situation reflects broader issues with American consumer spending, rather than just local Las Vegas challenges. When families struggle with inflation and economic uncertainty, luxury Vegas vacations become the first expense to cut. Despite these mounting challenges, the Bellagio maintains a property valuation of over $1 million per key, suggesting the underlying real estate remains valuable. The question is whether MGM can execute the massive capital investments needed to modernize the property while managing current operational pressures. Looking ahead, forecasts show potential recovery, with 40.1 million projected visitors for 2026, about 1 million more than 2025. But this modest 2.4% increase would still represent a 6% decline from 2024 levels, hardly the robust recovery needed to justify major renovations. The Bellagio stands at a crossroads. Once the symbol of Las Vegas luxury, and innovation. It now represents the challenges facing an industry built on excess in an era of economic uncertainty. Whether this iconic property can reinvent itself for a new generation or continue its slide into mediocrity will determine not just its own fate, but the future direction of the entire Las Vegas Strip. The fountains still dance, but the music may be ending for one of Vegas's greatest success stories.